I said I'm just gonna get started only because I feel like I need to get started right now. It's Friday night at 8. Got myself a date. She might be my mate. It's gonna be so great. Great. So we down here, girl. What's going on? It's Friday. So what is going on? Let me make sure my nose is clean, girl. So how is everybody doing? I don't even know what's going on down to the blog today.
I sponsor the now. I sponsor the
Let me
blog.
tell you something.
Okay, let's go see. I have nothing to talk about, child. So let's go. Let's see. I don't even know what is going on in the world. Girl, what the fuck? Y'all agree? Let me save this before it refreshes. You know how what's called like to do. It says, "Do y'all agree?" Anthony Mackie says the American male is dead.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
And they killed masculinity. Well, luckily, male and masculinity are not exclusive to each other. So that's great. They killed masculinity in our homes.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Says he's teaching his sons differently. My boys have never had a pair of Jordans. All right, let's see what he says. This is interesting.
I keep my boys humble. Like, my boys have never had a pair of Jordans. You know, my boys don't do all that internet fly shit. I'm like, your kids. And no, I don't give I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid. Mm-hmm. Do not. And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tells the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make dad mad. Because once you get one that's right, he gonna straighten the other ones out. Mm-hmm. So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open a door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night. This alarm is on. You text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up. I love that. Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing. Right. You can have all the celebrity in the world, jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing. Yeah. So you got to have a little guard in there, you know? And so for me, it's always that idea of American masculinity is very different.
That's on the Pivot podcast, with what's the little waffle colored nigga's name? I forget his name. I forget all their names. Girl, I don't commit these niggas' names to memory. You know who I'm talking about. I'll put a picture of them so you know who. Pivot podcast. Ryan, what's his name? I forgot their names. I don't remember their names. Honestly, I don't. Somebody said, shout out to Oliver Twix. Those are his children. He can do what he wants. Listening to him say that I'm going to teach my boys how to be men, you have to realize when we sit up here all the time and we talk about solo mothers who are mothers with sons, and you're like, you need a man to teach your boy how to be a man. Well, that depends on the definition of manhood to the man who's doing the teaching, because he might have a weird relationship with masculinity. He might have a skewed view of what masculinity looks like. And he might also think that because that person was born with a penis, they can only embody masculinity and then cutting off the feminine parts of themselves, leaving them imbalanced people. So when those imbalanced people go out in the world and they've rejected their femininity and only reside in this level of masculinity that they assume, I can only perform masculinity because I'm a man. This idea that man and masculinity go together, and it doesn't. Masculinity has nothing to do with your gender. Absolutely nothing to do with your gender. So whatever your definition of the American male or whatever that is, whatever that looks like to you, I hope you're not creating an environment where these boys are rejecting the femininity, their feminine parts, because they came from both. They are both. We are all both. That's why we run around like, how in the world are children? Where are these people learning this stuff from? Their immediate community. That's where they're learning it from. It's no telling what Anthony Mackie is teaching his sons, right? I think it is unfair to give a child an adult responsibility of being the quote man of the house. Now, you want them to lock the doors, but I'm not expecting a child to guard a home. Not a 15-year-old, not a 16-year-old, maybe a 20-year-old, 19-year-old, maybe, but it's not their responsibility. If you want to give them some responsibility, like make sure you lock the doors, make sure you put the alarms on, make sure you keep your home secure because this is your home and you're in it too. I'm the man of the house and you the man of the house and you supposed to keep the house. No, whoever can make sure the home is safe, that's whose responsibility it is to make sure the home is safe. As children get older, you tell them, make sure you lock the door, make sure you put the alarm on, teach them how to put the alarm on. It's not because you're the man of the house. So it's no telling what he's teaching him. And I don't agree that they are his children. I don't agree that my children are mine. They came through me. They are they are children who are going to grow into adults that I have to make sure they have the tools to survive without me. Because I know the playbook of masculinity, the way that heterosexual men and their relationship to masculinity, I've taught them what they're going to be met with. This thing where you need men to teach these boys how to be men, bitch. I don't know what books they've learned from. I don't know. I can raise boys to be men. I wouldn't put my boys in the hands of a man who has a skewed view of what masculinity. He never mentions femininity. So in his mind, this actor, he has an association that because you have a penis, masculinity is your thing, and it's not your thing. I can perform masculinity. I can perform femininity, just like men can. Not It doesn't matter the sexuality. Sexuality has nothing to do with it. But again, we live in a system where they say these are the rules of how you identify. So I don't know what Anthony Mackie got going on, but I think it's a little weird. It's a little weird. The American male. Girl, what? They've been taken out of our homes. Girl, some of them motherfuckers don't deserve to be in. Somebody said this is parenting. Somebody said I disagree. Hate the generation of they gotta struggle parents. I hate that too. I agree 100%. But weren't you the same nigga who kissed a man on a show, Black Mirror? See, there you go. And that's how you end up. Like, so having Jordans determines whether or not you're a good person or a man. I think he means he doesn't spoil them. He doesn't give them what they want. Immediately, yes, start building back masculinity. Jordans and masculinity. Trying to find the correlation, but okay, go off. My father always said, I'd rather you fear me than love me. I understand it now. Ugh. I agree and disagree. The teachings of masculinity, respect and protection is needed, not toxic masculinity. But they're that way under your guidance as a man. But who's to say that they will hold true to that in the future? You can only hope. And that's the one thing about parenting. You can teach the children all these things. And then only you can hope that they maintain and remember, right? That's what you hope will happen, right? That's why you get those parents, I don't know where I went wrong. What did I do? I don't know. Society, girl. Society. When they say who's raising the boy, men raise men. When boys grow into men and they get out in society and they find other groups of men to be in community with, that's where they learn a lot of toxic shit. And me as a mother of boys, I have told them this is the type of shit you're going to hear, because I know that the playbook hasn't changed. It could be a valid conversation, but what do Jordans have to do with anything? I really believe he's like, I'm not buying my kids stuff. Like, I'm not, just because you have a father with money, I'm not buying you a bunch of stuff. You're not going to be a spoiled brat. I think that's what he was trying to say. Clothing and shoes don't define our kids. I totally agree with his point. But what does Jordans have to do with anything? Well, you just said clothing and shoes don't define our kids. That's what he mentions the Jordans for. You answered your own question. So what do y'all think about that? So many people are missing the message because of the labels. It's about teaching men the value of things that you can't buy. You can't buy respect, chivalry, or manners. Material things will come in due time. Let's see. I don't think he mentioned the Jordans because he doesn't want to raise his kids as materialistic. I get it and I respect it. He wants boys to be children and enjoy their childhood. But he said he told his 15-year-old he was the man of the house. This could be a valid conversation, but what do Jordans have to do with anything? See, all y'all heard was Jordans. That's another point. I like his point of view, respected as a man raising men. Hopefully their mother is giving them the other 50% of what male children need to be balanced emotionally and healthy, but also understand that femininity is not exclusive to people with vaginas. We are all both. All of us. Every last one of you. Every last one of you. We are all both. All of us. The American male is no longer present in the family household. Start there. And it's not only that the American male is not present in the household, it's because when he is in close proximity, he becomes a threat. Some of those men that are in close proximity with the woman they had children with and the children, he becomes a threat. Or he either becomes a threat or he becomes a fixture that doesn't do anything. So y'all let me know what y'all think. It has 281 comments. I'm sure it'll grow big because a lot of people have a weird view about masculinity and femininity. So y'all let me know what you think. Wisconsin man arrested after sleeping next to the body of his deceased girlfriend for nearly a month. Reportedly told police he thought she was joking when he found her lifeless body on the floor. What did he do to her? It says a 24-year-old man from Wisconsin, Shurkin Akliad, has been charged with first-degree reckless homicide following the death of his girlfriend, Ceylon Tut. According to police reports, he allegedly lived with her body in a shared apartment for nearly a month before reporting her death. Per Law and Crime, on February 27th, he entered the Milwaukee Police Administration building and told officers that his girlfriend was dead in their apartment. He claimed he discovered her lifeless body on the floor after running an errand about 20 days earlier. He alleges initial shock led him to believe that she might be joking, but upon realizing the gravity of the situation, he reportedly fainted. Police arrived at their apartment to discover her body in a state of decomposition with multiple stab wounds around her torso and neck. Investigators noted signs of potential staging at a crime scene, leading them to believe the body had been moved after she passed. Neighbors in the complex reported hearing arguments before her death, and surveillance footage indicated that he purchased bleach on the night of the altercation. He is currently being held on a $1 million bond, scheduled to appear in court on March 19th. He killed her and then said she played dead. He thought he was joking he thought she was joking 30 days later. I know it was funky in that apartment. My mama always told us never let a man love you to death. I know that's right. I'm 40 years old and I finally understand what she meant. I miss my mother so much. I know that's right. Animals will do the same thing when their mate passes. They will lay next to them in sorrow. The post isn't saying that he laid there for a month next to her as a joke. It's saying he thought she was playing when he found her there. And a little common sense goes a long way. People find any way to make a negative comment about anyone. So he slept beside a decomposing body with no problem at all. These people got real life Neanderthal traits. He probably was doing more than just laying next to that dead body. Girl, I'm telling you. What happened to my little paper? Oh, right here. I'm telling you. What time is it, girl? We almost have to go. So you thought she played dead after you stabbed her multiple times? Exactly. That's what everybody's leaving out. The haircut is a dead giveaway, but we look and we don't judge. Girl. Yeah, so laying next to a body, he was probably having sex with her corpse as well. That's why they don't like to hire men for mortuary jobs, because they find out men have sex with dead bodies. But keep my husband out of it. Girl, that's the risk you take. Girl, can you imagine? Can you imagine if you found out that a man that you have had sex with dead bodies, girl? I'm running away. Ooh, this is so good. It's the coconut collagen creamer for me. It's so good. Yeah, he probably was having sex with her body too. Lizzo just dropped her new single, Still Bad. I don't want to play it because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but shout out to Lizzo. She looks really good. I've lost some weight. She says it's not the OZ, but it's her working out. But she looks good. She looks really good. Victoria Monet's manager, Rachel, shines light on the importance of music videos in today's world and how it impacted her rise to fame. Okay. Jermaine Dupri says it was Don Robinson's choice to live in her vehicle after social users urged him to send her money. She welcomed the idea of doing this.
The past almost 3 years, I have been living in my car. I said it. Oh my God, it's out.
Bitch.
Been living in my car. Oh my gosh. If you remember, if you guys were with me, in 2020, I did like 105,000 interviews.
I don't know what happened. Lucy Pearl was a fucking vogue. Let's talk about Lucy Pearl, bitch.
It's like, I respect her too much.
I want to dance tonight.
And I was sleeping in my car for maybe about a month in
First
Vegas.
thing
and
you
then,
need
the
to
guy
do.
That was co-managing me at the time was living in LA, and he said, you need to come back to LA. Okay. And he said that I could stay with him. You guys, so I was like, okay. He's like, I don't have a lot of room, but I'll make room for you. And then when I got to his place, he actually didn't have room for me. So it turned into, okay, well, I'm going to put you in a hotel for the night. And that one night turned into 8 months. Oh my God, you guys, because every apartment that I looked at, every single time I looked at a place, I would call him and I'm like, okay, can you meet me here? I would tell him ahead of time, of course. And then he wouldn't meet me there, and so I would take video and send it to him. And he's like, no, oh my God, this neighborhood, I hate it. And I felt like he was playing games, and I knew he was playing games, and I wasn't the one. I'm like, come on, I'm trying to make this easier on you because financially, I know it's got to be hard. You're paying your rent and you're paying my hotel. His apartment was $1,700 a month. And then my hotel was over 3,000. Yeah. So, and I was always stressed every week because he would pay weekly for the hotel. And so I was like, okay. He's like, I don't have a lot of room, but I'll make room for you. And then when I got to his place, he actually didn't have room for me. So it turned into, okay, well, I'm going to put you in a hotel for the night. And that one night turned into 8 month house. So every week I was like, oh my God, can you afford it? Are you okay? And he's like, no, I can't, but I'm getting it together. What? You're the one who said to go to the hotel and you're not approving any of the apartments. Like, it would be so much cheaper to just get me into an apartment. Like, what's the problem? So every week I was like, oh my God, can you afford?
First of all, I feel like Dawn should go find someone's house to room in. I feel like she should do that. I feel like if she wants to be part of the van life, car life community, that's what she mentioned something about that. There are so go on YouTube. There are so many people living in their cars, and it's I don't know for her. For some people, it's not a sign that they are struggling or they're making the choice to live in their car. So I don't know that this has to be a choice of her now because she doesn't have any other options. But the way she hollered, like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that to everybody. So people are saying, where's your money? Why you don't have any money? But she's living in her car. She said she was living with her mom for a while and that became uncomfortable, wasn't conducive to what she needed. Um, I do think that Dawn has some mental health issues. I don't know if she's been diagnosed, but it was always something going on with Dawn. And also, even with Lucy Pearl, I will say this. I've been around and worked with Dawn, and abused by a man in a different ways has been sad to see. She is the sweetest, but has been in survival mode. And when you mess with men that'll tell you you are bigger and better than a group, you're the star, you don't need them, they need you, then the man drags you down. She was manipulated out of everything, and it all falls because of a man. Yes, that is what I saw happen, unfortunately. And he said he corrected himself and said he manipulated her out of her career and opportunities, the man. And I'm not talking about the manager she's speaking of in her video. I believe it. I don't know why, but I feel like she has been abused throughout her life. She's really sweet and has been taken advantage of over time. Sometimes all people know how to do is sing. That's her gift and profession. I hope she's really happy, but if not, I hope whatever her needs are that they are met. She literally said this was 100% by choice and that she is happy. She never once in the video asked for help. She is documenting. hmm Since social media is sending everybody some money, can I get some money to pay off this light bill and a place to stay? Oh, y'all never saw her on R&B Divas? The wheels were turning, but the hamster is by. Mental health is important to address. And if she's not working, she can't pay the rent. Period. That's it. She's not working, she can't pay the rent. So she has a car that she owns. Hopefully it's a van of some sort, and maybe somebody can pay for her to get her van retrofitted to live in. There's when I tell you, type in van life on YouTube and you can see how many people, families, single women, solo van life, solo woman living in her van, solo man living in his van, solo woman off the grid, and they're documenting their journey. And it's not necessarily like for the way that Dawn sounds, it does sound like there's some resource issues there. But for these people, they're making their money on YouTube and they are choosing to live off grid, not necessarily off grid because you uploading videos, but you're not connected to anything. You can move around. Your home is on wheels basically. And there are a lot of people living like that. A lot of people and documenting it and sharing it online. So it doesn't sound like she asked for any money from the clips that I've heard. Let's hear what Jermaine Dupri has to say. Let's see.
To be in the car. I saw somebody send a message and say, Jermaine, Monica, all of y'all, can y'all put some money together to help Dawn out? From my understanding, for her to speak on it the way she spoke on it, she was basically saying that she saw other people living in their vans, living in RVs, and she welcomed the idea of doing this. Somebody said her choice or limited options was her choice to be.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds like there's some limited resources there, and that was probably the best choice for her to make. So you have limited options, and the only choices are run after this man who can is I don't know. Pretty soon he's gonna probably start asking you for pussy. I don't know. You know how these motherfuckers are. I don't know. But the other option is to stay in your car, live your life, go to the Planet Fitness, take a shower, do your life, and live your life, and not be worried about nobody. You understand what I'm saying? You see the people, or they have gym memberships, they go take showers, they work out, take showers, get back in their car. Their car has they live in RVs or those little small kind of sprinters, and they get them retrofitted to so they can live in there. They got beds in there. Some people got toilets in their damn things, or they live in actual RVs with actual toilets in there and stuff like that. Space to cook and everything. People live in their RVs, and that's what it sounded like to me, that she was like, well, I see people doing it. I feel like I can do it too. I don't really have a home to stay in, and I really can't afford it, but I do own my car. Keep the maintenance up on your car. And the way that she had, it was like a curtain behind her, so it seemed like she was in like a bigger, like a maybe like a van or something like that. So hopefully Dawn is okay. And she says she still has an assistant. How you broke but still paying for an assistant? It may be somebody just helping her, not asking for any money. She may not pay her. This woman is a platinum selling singer, and you want me to believe she actually wants to live in her car? She's simply sad she was living with her mother in Las Vegas, and things started to get too hectic for her there. Then she stayed in a hotel for 8 months. That doesn't sound like somebody who wants to live in a car. That's her only choice. That's what I'm saying. There's two things happening, and there's a stigma, right? There's a stigma there. That's why she hollered like that. I laughed when she did. She was like, I can't believe I said that. Especially coming off of En Vogue, Lucy Pearl, all you have some success. We know who you are. So it just, like I said, it just sounds like she was probably like, I can do this. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. And I think that's why she hollered like that, because she couldn't believe that she was actually saying that. Like, okay, I live in my car. Okay, I'm gonna share with people now. But understand that, yes, these are the choices. This is the only choice I have. But she could probably see like other people are doing it, so I shouldn't feel bad about it. Maybe, I don't know. Zendaya will make history as the highest paid Black woman in television history per episode for her role in Euphoria. Girl, she will make $1 million per episode. I know that's right. I know that's right. I know she pulled a Friends on your ass. I know that's right. You better do that, Zendaya. Zendaya.
Euphoria.
Zendaya will make history. That's good for her. Let's see what some of the comments say. Well deserved. Clapping hand emojis. Her acting in this show is top tier. She deserves every penny. 1 million an episode. Maybe I need to see what this show is about. What? Her acting is so good, you can't tell me she wasn't an addict in real life. Y'all funny because nobody calls Mariah Carey, Halle Berry, Faith Evans, or Shamar Moore biracial. They all identify as Black. Girl, we're not doing that. Made history as the highest paid biracial woman. No, see, for me, when I see biracial people, I call them whatever they identify. You Black biracial, white biracial. We know you biracial, but how do you identify? So either you a white biracial, you a Black biracial. That's how I do it. Like, you Black biracial because you identify as Black. You're not walking around here. You a white biracial person. You walking down around here living like a white person. A lot of people, biracial people, identify as Black because the white side don't accept them, and it's just like, well, shit, I'm gonna be over here. But there are other biracial people who have both good relationship with both sides, and they still identify as Tracy Ellis Ross. It's a Black biracial woman, right? She's biracial. You identify her being biracial, but also how she identifies in the world. So we need to get away from that. Like, girl, we got it. We got it. They biracial. No, she's a Black biracial person. Let the biracial girlies get their respect in their own categories. Girl, she's the first girl. Ain't no girl. Okay, I'm not gonna even read that. It gives flat Earth argument. It does. It's like you going in the circles, and it's like no reason. I gotta go. Let's do another video. Let me see what time I have an appointment this morning. Pull out, hop out, make it look sexy. Hey. Oh, okay. I can make one thing. I think. Oh, I think it's 9. Is it 9:30 or 9:15? 9:30 or 9:15? 9:30 or 9:15? 9:30 or 9:15? 15. Yeah, so we're gonna make another video. I'm gonna end this video. Let me know what you think about what Anthony Mackie said, the situation with Dawn. What are your understandings of masculine and femininity? Do you believe that men are the only people who can show boys how to be men? And get down in the comments and let me know about that. What do you think about Dawn? Do you agree that it seems like she didn't have a lot of choices and this was her only choice and she's accepted this choice? Have you do any of you live in your cars or and run around the country doing whatever you want? Do any of that, any of y'all live in the van life or the solo life? I know, get down in the comments, let me know what you think. Take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Have a good weekend. Peace.